Hello, ladies, and welcome to Her Business Coffee Talk. If you're ready to scale your business globally, but English might be holding you back, you're in the right place. My name is Nina, and I will be your host today, and I'm excited to introduce my guest, Dragana Jovčić. Dragana, welcome to Coffee Talk. So let's start with you. You're a founder, startup mentor, and fluent in multiple languages. So, can you tell us more about who you are and what your business is all about?
I started my business in 2016, and I believe that I gained a lot of experience that I want to share with the people and the younger people, especially who struggle with entrepreneurship. My name is Dragana. I come from South Serbia, and I try to change the people's lives through my startup. In 2016, we tried to create the platform marketplace that connects people who need some kind of services. In that moment, it's a different type of services. Right now, it's a cleaning and ironing, and to connect with the people who want to work. It's a students, stay-home moms, and other who needs to earn money one time or 2-3 times per week. And we try to change the way how people order this service and how is this experience, and the people who want to earn to get more coffee the way and different ways of how they earn through the studies, especially because that was one of our main goal. I'm start this startup through the whole this process. We start different projects, but right now I'm working in Drag Foundation. It's totally different field. I'm also the small entrepreneur in this process. Also mentor, because I believe that sharing experience and whole everything that I learn, it's most important. And if we can share failures that can help people don't struggle with the same situations in their business, especially, and in life, because the business and life is not different. So I'm working especially in social entrepreneurship because that is something that I love, because people who try to bring the impact in the market, especially to change the people's lives, that is something that I especially like. I work for Social Impact Award and different organizations, and that is something that I love to do. And also it's workshops for high schools to create their businesses and their projects. It's business like business and something projects in their local communities, and help them through workshop to create and to investigate their ideas and present their ideas, and they get grants for that. So I finished political science, but I'm working like someone who is totally different in business, and I don't have experience before I start the business. So that's it about me.
I don't know where to start. I don't know what to ask you first. When I was reading your application for all the guests so far, I've prepared the questions. But for you, I didn't know what questions to prepare because we have only like 20-25 minutes and how to ask you everything that I would like to know. So maybe let's start with entrepreneurship, like your very first step. What gave you courage to do that? And what challenges did you face at first? Can you tell us more?
Yeah, that was very interesting, because I never think about entrepreneurship like entrepreneurship. People talk about that, but in my experience in my family, we don't have entrepreneurship like a history. I come from a family that's workers, from small village, and people think that is very risky in this field and try to put me in the different way. So I just come with my friends, try to find something practical, because in fact political science I have more theory, and I don't see the results based on that. And when we started this business, because I start with 3 colleagues, we think that we try to change something in the market, but I'm not aware about that situation in that moment, because I believe that I need something to change people's lives. That was the main goal, especially for the students, because when I'm student, I need a lot of money to find little jobs that help me through the studies. And that was the biggest struggle that I have in this period. And I try to connect. I see the connection between these two things. Is need the practical and the results, and other I want to help the students to find the different jobs. And the biggest challenge in that moment is English. Because why is that? It's a very specific situation. One accelerator, we don't know what to do with our idea, because the programmers have about 80% development, the platform. And we try to put that in Serbian market. We see in American market, and we go through the different mentors education, but we don't have the experience. Like a student, we want to go to one of the biggest. In 2016, Founder Institute is the first time in Serbia, and come from Silicon Valley. And it's the first time that we go to the process, and we're the youngest group. I'm the youngest person in the whole group. Other people have experience in businesses like 20 years, 10 years, have a lot of experience. And one moment when I talk and my English is not the best, one of the mentor told me that one of the reasons why I'm not will be successful is my English, and that I don't have experience like a student, that don't have experience in entrepreneurship. And other mentors said that we will never succeed in this, because he started similar thing in 10 years before. And that was one of the very interesting moments that I see. I don't understand why you're talking about that, because I don't have experience, and this is the moment to learn a lot of things in the process. And this is the moment to help me in this process, not to punch me in the face with your experience. That is great, but the time is different. So I'm a very persistent person. That is one of the reason. And we start to put something in the market, and we struggle with that. We believe that we will struggle a lot, but the market is totally different, because the customer experience and the user experience and the whole market is changed. And we just come in the market and get the customers and get paid customers. That was like something that's interesting. We don't get investment. That was one of the things. We bootstrap the whole product. 3 of us. We get small investment in 2019. That is like small, just a small, like a grant. And we try to put in the market something new, in the new way of the similar services that exist in Serbia. And I believe that the lack of experience, lack of knowledge that we have, that was one of the biggest struggle that we have in the process.
Many people think that they have to do something that has never been seen before, or like some kind of revolution on the market. But as I heard, you just took something that wasn't working that well and made it great and approachable to your clients. So can you tell us more about that, and also maybe about your startups that you mentor in the foundation, how to encourage them to just start, to get that experience that everybody is asking for, even though your idea might not be revolutionary, but even if it is, like, you need so many other things to put it on.
Yeah, that was very interesting in mentoring process when we talk about invention and innovation, because it's totally two different things, and people believe that they need to think about totally new product and service in the market. That will never happen right now in 2025, because we have a lot of products and services that exist. We need to talk about innovation. So we start like innovation. We see in the US market, TaskRabbit is coming in Europe. It's the same platform. They start with the different tasks and connect people, clients with the workers, gig workers. Right now that we're talking about the gig workers. So it's what is the most important in this process, to understand the customers and to understand the market right now, and understand the culture, the country, the moment, and everything, because you can copy something from the other countries and implement, because the customer experience is totally different. What is my advice for them every time? Try, test, put in the market, because you never know what will happen if you just talk about idea. Idea is just something that is great. You can talk about idea. I'm very happy to hear about this, and it's great every time. Sometimes I think it's innovation or invention. I don't know. Sometimes I can think about that will be the next Airbnb. But what is the most important is the team and the real problem that is the market with this type of clients and in this particular niche for this service. If you can change this experience and if you can do this in the better way than the competitors, you will be great. But what is important to believe in that, and you and your team to believe that will be something different and to understand the customers. People don't have courage because they believe that they have experience. Experience comes through the process. You never know what you will learn from the process, but it's important to have the mentors and have some experience in the process or have advisors in the process. Right now, if I come back in 2016, I will try to get more mentors, but to never change the process, because the whole process is great and to test, to put in the market and to understand, not to open company and to go to the legal stuffs and everything else, just to test with the customers. And that was one of the most important, and believe in themselves, because people cannot take them everything they have. If you're persistent, you will go on the market. If you're not, your idea will be just in the box. And that's it. It's up to you. So you need to be more open-minded, put the first step and go with this idea with the customers. Customers pay for your idea, and that's it.
How to understand customers better? This is one question. If we want to, for example, if I want to have like totally new go-to-market strategy, for example, now at Coffee Talk, we are thinking about starting working internationally officially. Like we already have clients from all over the world, but we haven't conquered any market, So I'm thinking, is it going to be Vietnam? Is it going to be Germany? Is it going to be France, Latin America? So this is my second question: how to find out what will be your next market. And the first one is about the customers and how to understand them better to be able to make everything for them.
To understand customers, you need to talk with them. You need to communicate with them. It's a different ways of communication. If you're in the beginning, you can do the research. Research is not like about desktop research that you're doing to see the competitors who are operating in the market. That is one part. And you can see what is their experience. This is like market research on task, when you see what is the niche and what is the competitors cover with this part. That is one. And you can gain what is the situation in the market. The other part, you can talk with the customers that you believe you solve them this problem. So you need to define what is the biggest pain for them, the problem. And if you have the solution for this problem, you will try to understand if this that you imagine this is a solution is solution for this problem. So you need to talk with the customers. That is important to do the interviews. One of the most important things in this beginning phase is interviews. And how you can do it. The mom test is one of the books that you can use. It's very practical. You have how to do the interviews in the steps. That's great. Never talk with the customers about what their wishes and if they want to go in the Maldives, but they don't have resources. Every time talk about the customers right now, how in the last 3 months, example, how they spend the money for this type of service, what is their experiences, how they challenge with these services, what is the biggest problem, how they feeling. So that is one is important thing. And when you gain that, you will see maybe sometimes the solution is totally different. So you need to understand that you imagine is not like something the customer gain. This is one thing. If you get the product and service in the market, every time you need to do this process to communicate with the customers to understand why they like your product or service, why not, what is the biggest problems, and to care about them. Care about them to solve the problems that you have in the process. The process is not like just to buy the product. The process is the moment that customers face with see your product and service, and when they finish with your product and service. And this process is life cycle. That is, in entrepreneurship, they talk about the customer journey, roadmap, and you understand their emotions and everything, and you will put in that. So this process needs to be, but research, communication with them, that is most important. And the customers are a source for your future solution. You cannot build the solution based on your needs. That is not based on your family needs. Yes, that is great. That is the beginning, but that is one of the things that's important. For the second question that we talk about the your situation, and you go to the other, you need to understand first what is the market where you have chance to go. That was how to do that. The first to understand the competitors. Who is the competitor and why they gain this niche and what they doing in this part. This is the first. And if you see that you can cover the other parts, you can go in this market. If you have network, people who can help you in the market research, but you need market research for that with your target market. We cannot say that was the target groups, because that is a target market for the beginning. And if you try to test with the first 3 months without the company, that was one of the main things that's important. If you don't have the resources, if you're a startup, if you don't have resources, just to try to offer the service and to see how the people get with that. Not free, because if you give them in free, that will be the problem after that. But you need to find a way how to get the best service and to learn in the process. So the 3 to 6 months is the learning process with the customers if you have the resources. And you need to go to the market that is similar with the culture of your customers. Because if you go to the totally new markets, for example, China market is totally different. It's very, very, very difficult to go to this market because you have the legal stuff, because you have the payments. You need to think about the whole this administration process before you start the whole process, and to find investors if you don't have the money. Because to go to the other markets, you need the ads, the promotions, and everything else that is most important to this process. But try to find the first customers that paid for your service, and try based on that find the others similar to conquer market and come to the market. And after that you can compete with the competitors, because if you don't have the experience from the customers in this market, people cannot believe in you if you don't have big resources. If we talk about Airbnb, Uber, and other big companies that put Volt Global, it's examples that they have a lot of resources and they put something in the market. It's very easy if you create the brand who is very representative to come to the market. But if you don't have the brand, you need to gain every customer with your service and your emotions and everything that you can do in the process. So research and test with the customers and learn a lot about regulations. That was one of the biggest challenge, because that can stop your job in just one day. That was one of the external factors that take a lot from the businesses. Think about this in this process.
Thank you so much for the advice, and it sounds pretty logical. We cannot skip steps. We have to do the research. We have to test it, make some mistakes and make decisions based on data and information that we learned. This story reminded me of learning English, and especially learning how to speak English, because people usually try to skip steps and expect to speak like a native speaker, even though they are not. So you also mentioned that English was a big deal for you a few years ago. So maybe you can tell us just a little bit about your experience and how did you get this fluent, and what happened with that fear of speaking, making mistakes.
Yeah, that one of the things, English, because it's very easy to learn when I listen. I'm not the person who will learn grammar and everything else. That is not up to me. So the reason why I'm talking right now like this is because I'm not fully fluent. That was one of the things that I need to gain in the future. And one of the challenge for me to focus myself and to be more fluent in English. and to be more professional. That is my aim for the next year. I have like something that I cannot explain. When I listening language, I can learn a lot. Just listening, not reading, because reading is very something that is not up to me. But I need to present my idea, to pitch with investors, to pitch on different events, not just to pitch. You have like 1 minute, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 7 minutes. You can present your idea. You have the pitch deck and you can present whole data, but you have the questions after that. It's not like questions that you have like this. You have the questions, what is a customer acquisition cost for your customer, for one side, for the other side? What will be customer lifetime value for your customers? What is your data? What is your return of investment? You need to explain in details all these things. And these things is not just something that you can get from like ChatGPT or Google and other things. You need to think about the long term about your business. So the main big challenge for me is to be more aware about information about my business, to understand my business, and after that to put on the paper whole things and to understand what I need to answer on this question. If I don't have the answer, I talk with people. I don't have answer, I will search and I will find and I will come with you with this answer. So it's, for me, I through the experience need to pitch on different events, and that helped me in this process. Nothing else. And also to apply for different grants, funds. Also in Drag Foundation right now, I have whole communication and everything for the other projects, who is the donors for different in European Union, USA, and different others. So we need to communicate and write in English. So it's much better right now. But I'm not the person for the writing English. That wasn't the biggest problem. So I want to improve that in the next week. But I encourage people to talk a lot with the people and put themselves in the situation is not comfortable. I put myself in the programs that is all in English, and I need to talk when I have 65 people in the room and I need to present something or present myself or ask something or discuss about some topics. So I need to communicate. So need to have the courage, but people believe that other people blame them for don't have the fluent English. I believe that is not the reason for the people to stop talking and to learn the future.
Yeah, it's all about priorities. Like if you need English for something, especially for your business, for pitching, for the investors, like it's really on the top of your list. So then the motivation is higher, and then you just have to create that discipline and of course find the right way and the right person to learn English with. And when we talk about that, you are welcome to join my program, English for Business Women, something new, but really useful for all the entrepreneurs who need English for their business, for pitching or sales calls with clients. I will let you know about that later on. So we mentioned a lot of things. There is a lot of value in this conversation, and I would love it to last more. But unfortunately, we got to our final question. So if a listener remembers only one thing from today, what would you want it to be?
One thing from today, to learn a lot about their customers if they're try to put some idea on the market, and to find the mentors and advisors that can help them in the process, and also to have the courage to put something in the market. If we talk about that, if we talk about the people who employee or try to, that is also great. It's not like a difference. Just need the courage to do something that you love, and that's it. If entrepreneurship is work for someone, create something that you love and work something that you love. That's it.
Thank you, Dragana, for this business coffee talk. I really enjoyed it, and I hope it was fun for you too. Ladies,
Yeah,
that's it for today. Thank you, Dragana. That's it for today, ladies. Feel free to visit our Instagram page, check out Her Business Coffee Talk if you want to grow your business and boost your English speaking skills. Until the next episode, let's coffee talk.